Hey guys, so this video that I'm doing is going to be a little bit more serious, actually a lot more serious than any of my previous content. I would like to do more scenarios like this in the future on different platforms and get some comments and advice from you guys as to whether or not I should team up with the local police departments to bring these guys to justice. Now, basically, if you haven't read any of the comments on my channel from a year ago or the post that I posted on Facebook today, basically stating, this project has been in the works for over a year now. I was having some issues with getting screen recording equipment. Of course, that never really happened, but one of my friends told me about how I could screen record my phone. So then it was just a matter of finding my old phone that had all the screenshots from this social experiment. So then I had to locate that, which I didn't locate that until this week. It took me a long time to locate that. And then when I finally did, as you can tell from some of the screenshots, it's got the crack on the screen. It's because I had to take a picture of my old phone screen with my current phone. So I'm just screen recording my screenshots, essentially. So basically what happened was over a year ago, Tyler and I, which is my husband, if you have not previously tuned into my channel or you don't know me personally, my husband and I had been watching a lot of Kobe Pearson videos, which is basically, he's a YouTuber that also works with parents to expose pedophiles and show teenagers the real danger of social media and those different websites. My goal of this whole video is to show parents how easy it is to set up a Tinder account or any other account, and just by the click of a button, your child can press that they're 18. They can enter in a fake birthday saying that they're 18. They could just click an agree button stating that they're 18. It's relatively easy for them to create an account and lie about their age, or create an account and post in the bio, basically the description of the account, that their real age, essentially. So maybe they just made the account just to make the account and agree that they were 18, but then, they posted their real age later in the description, which is what we did for this video. So in this video, we created a fake account, stating a fake name and everything. However, I did use real photos of me when I was 13. So in the bio on Tinder, I put, I'm actually a lot younger than 18. I didn't list the specific age because in different scenarios that I used, I would say I was either 13 or 15. Sometimes I'd say 17, but basically, I would just go on a case-by-case basis and tell them, basically that I was under 18 all the time. I would say I was some age under 18. Tyler and I did work together on this, so some of these chats back and forth are from him messaging the people, some of them are from me messaging the people, but all of them will be available on screen, and I'll kind of go through those with you guys. Before we get into it, I just want to reiterate that this video, I did block out all the names and everything, but I would like to, moving forward in the future, look into privacy laws and see what I can expose and what I can't expose, as far as that goes, and also see about maybe partnering with the local police department as well into exposing some of these people. That is, if you guys comment and you show that you're interested in this kind of thing, maybe I'll go from there and see about pursuing more of these videos. One more thing I'd like to say before I get into this is basically, again, parents, honestly, if my kid was 13, I wouldn't give them a phone, but that's just me. Or I would at least heavily monitor it, because there are so many different sites. There are so many different apps that they can go on and do all kind of things and get in a lot of trouble with that. Some of these people, you know, they could meet up with anyone online, even if you're thinking, oh, well, I watch what my kid does all the time. Kids aren't always truthful. And kids, if you think that it's cool to do any of these things, I don't know if you guys have been following the news or not, but obviously it's been exposed a lot lately about sex trafficking, and that would be your parents' worst nightmare. So don't go into something, meeting up with somebody that you think is a cool person, or that even lied about their age. They could create a fake account and say that they're 14 or however old to meet up with you. It's just not smart. Don't lie about your age. Don't meet up with anyone online without having your parents' permission and them taking someone with you to meet up with this person. Even if you're an adult female, you need to be careful who you go with, and always notify somebody of what date you're going on, where you are, and everything like that. But enough preaching to the choir. Let me go ahead and get into this. Okay, so as you guys see, this is the first chat that I have going on here. This was back in 2019, so I don't really remember a lot of these conversations. There are a few that stick out to me. This guy basically, though, is talking about, well, obviously you can see what they're talking about. I'm going to go over to the next slide here. This one, I obviously told him I'm 16. And then, you know, then I said, he's like, oh, well, that's on the line of being illegal, isn't it? And I was like, why? You wouldn't want to date me? And then he was like, mainly because of distance. So then I stated, you know, if I live next door, you know, then that would be different. And then he said, if you live next door, I'd probably take you out on some nice dates. So you see here, the issue really for him is not my age, it's the distance. And then the conversation continues, and I just keep probing him, seeing basically what his intentions are. And that's a lot of what I'm doing, is seeing what the intent is. Here's another one. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a different conversation. So this guy immediately starts off. This was as soon as he added me. Starts off by flirting, which is, you know, fine, whatever. I'm sure a lot of these people didn't read the bio stating, you know, that I was a lot younger than 18. I'm going to give them, or at least I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they didn't. Let's say that they didn't read the bio. So even if they didn't read the bio, I obviously go into detail and tell them, I make a point to tell them, all of them, that I'm under 18. And so this continues, this whole conversation. I'll leave that there for a few minutes in case you guys want to read. And if I'm moving too fast at any point, you can always pause the screen and read that. Okay, and then I ask blatantly, you know, how old are you? And then I tell him my age, 15. Let's see, this one's another one where I tell him, you know, he's 27, 15. Okay, this guy was the one, he was 27, and he did pass the test. However, this guy Okay, this one is one of the ones that stuck out to me. I know I said, a lot of these conversations I don't remember, but were a few throughout this experiment that stuck out to me. This guy specifically, because when I asked if I could use his profile, show his information, if he would give consent for that to use in the video, since he was one of the ones that passed, he actually said no. And the reason he said no was because he had a wife, and he didn't want her to find out that he was on Tinder looking for hookups, which, I mean, I at least have to give it to the guy, congratulations, you're not a pedophile. On the other hand, you should not be cheating on your wife. Okay, getting back to some of the other messages. Some of these are crazy. Okay, so like this one was another one that stuck out to me because the dude was a college student, which he's like 27. He says how old he is, he's just looking for a booty call, basically. So I have two issues with this. One, he's a pedophile, and two, he cannot do math, because I told him I was 15 when he asked. So he said he was 27, and then this is his next message. And then he asked, do you care that I'm like 10 years older than you, later in our conversation? I told him I was 15. So, and he said he was 27. So, you do the math there. Do you care that I'm 10 years older than you? Okay, so, yeah. There's that, and he's supposed to be a college student. Plus the fact that, he's asking me that, he should be the one caring that he's older than me. He shouldn't leave it up to a minor. So there's that. Here's the next one. So there's this one. He starts out with flirting. And, I thought he was going to be a really nice guy. I was like, okay, really, really hope he passes. Just because, like, we were having a conversation, then I let my husband take over for a while because he started talking about video games, and I knew nothing about video games. So he seemed like a pretty cool guy because, I mean, he was into a lot of cool stuff. And I was really hoping he was going to pass. But then I tell him right here, I haven't had my prom yet. So that should have been his first clue right there, of my age. But if that wasn't clue enough for him, as you can see here, I told him I'm 15. And he sounded amazed by that. So not sure if that's like well, you're 15, like I can't, go out with you, or like wow, you're 15, that's great. So I continue the conversation with him about me being 15. And he says, wow, you're young. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't look it, And he's like wanting more pictures of me and everything else. So, and then he states the reason, right here. He was like, honestly, if I'm here for one specific reason, I don't want to waste your time, and blah, blah, blah. And you can see his specific reason right there. I'm not going to read that out loud. And also, I did leave out a lot, and I mean a lot, probably at least 50 different messages and from different profiles of messages that were really, really explicit. Like, once they found out I was 15, they went into some pretty graphic detail, and I decided not to include those just for my own personal traumatic reasons, and just it was disgusting, honestly. Like, I couldn't even sit here and read these to you, or even pretend to want to post those, just because, I mean, I would want to post them to raise awareness, but at the same time, they're really, really, really graphic, and I just, it's disgusting. I don't even want to pull them up on my phone. So trust me, this is the least graphic message out of all of them. So then, even after knowing I was 15, and this is the same guy, so I cut out part of the conversation because, again, it was disgusting. After he had told me what he wanted, then he started questioning me about where I live, once I said, oh yeah, cool, sure, that's cool, whatever. So this dude is way older. He knows he's way older. He knows my age. And he's wanting to meet up. Even after, me telling him and him having time to think about it. He's like, yeah, I still want to meet up. Great. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, so this is another one. And he actually, we started talking about a whole bunch of different stuff, and there's another one where, a lot of these guys are college kids, and so they have some of the same interests as, me and my husband. So me and my husband would be sitting here replying and reading these and think, oh, this person is cool, they're, they seem chill, whatever, they like the same thing as us, maybe if they pass, we could be friends or whatever. If only these people would pass. I swear. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe this. So this is the same person throughout this. So you can just read the messages. Again, if you need to pause, you can pause. Take time to read those. Basically, what's going on here is just random chatting about random things. I didn't screenshot all of it because some of it's most of it's just pointless. I just tried to summarize, basically, to show, that there was conversation there. And then, of course, I'm still pretending, to be this random person. And let's see. Okay. So I was just, saying random interests. Some of these interests I don't even have interest in. But it might have been Tyler messaging on some of these. I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then here is at the bottom, you can see where I tell him my age. Okay. And then I ask here, is that okay? And then I was like, don't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone. Or if you'd rather, we can just be friends. So it's not like I'm trying to pressure him into it. I always give that other option, hey, think about what you're agreeing to. Which, they shouldn't really have to think about it. They should automatically know, But I'm trying to make it easy for this person because, my husband and I had been talking to him, for over the course of several days. And he seemed cool. But yeah. Anyway, you can keep reading this. Here's the next one. And here's his response down here at the bottom. No, but please don't call the cops on me. So he's okay with it. He just doesn't want to get caught for it, basically. So he's okay as long as no one's looking. Basically. This guy. All of these people, except for I think I counted them up the other day and it was 5 people, maybe, that passed, which is insane. And like I said, I'm not including all of the people that failed or all of the people that passed, just due to, this was very tedious to go through and take a picture of every single one of the screenshots, then edit them and made sure I crop out all the names and, it was really, really tedious. So it took me hours and hours and hours last night to get all of this edited so that I could start filming this video. So that's why I'm not including all of them. Also, I'm not including the really, really graphic ones because when I tell you they're really, really graphic, it's pretty bad. There was this one guy that was 40 years old, 40 something years old. And, basically he had, started messaging me and he's like, oh, you look young. So immediately he recognizes that I look young. And he was like asking me about my life and yada, yada, yada. And I immediately tell him my age. I tell him, oh, I'm 15. And he was like, do you need, I don't even want to go into it, but he was like, do you need a daddy or whatever? And yeah, it just completely floored me. And so I continued that conversation. I'm not kink shaming anyone that has that kink. However, I clearly had stated that I was 15. So to me, this guy, he really gave me the creeps. It even gave me chills just reading back over those messages because you could clearly see he had targeted my profile because I looked younger. And then once he found out exactly how young I was, then he immediately without hesitation started being graphic. And it went pretty graphic. It was pretty bad. So I didn't want to include that. No pictures were sent or anything because, of course, once it started getting too bad, I blocked the account. This guy was he was creepy. He was so creepy. But I got basically the evidence that I needed out of him as to, I had asked him, if he was willing to meet up, and he said yes. And then once he said yes to that, I immediately blocked the account. But yeah, it got pretty graphic. And there were at least 20 others that were sort of like that. Maybe not the exact same scenario, but kind of the same. And that's why those weren't included. I didn't want to include anything super, super graphic. But again, like I stated, if you guys want to comment and tell me what you'd be interested in watching, and, tell me if you think it would be better for me to leave those things out, or if it would be better to include them for awareness. It's all about, again, also what you guys want. I'm going to take that into consideration as well. So if you'll comment on this video. Now on this one, this guy was pretty straight to the point, as you can read here. And even after I tell him how old I am, he's like, well, are you still willing to do it? There was no hesitation with this person. It was pretty immediate, straight to the point. He really didn't care my age. He didn't care anything. He didn't care anything about me. He just immediately, first message he sent, and then he didn't really give much thought as to how old I was or anything else. This one is one of the ones that stuck out to me. It was completely hilarious because when the message first came in, it came in as yo. And so my husband actually had the phone at this point, and he was like, his face was hilarious because when he said yo, then he said Bonnie ? My husband was like, what? This person knows you? What? Like, they recognized you. So it was kind of funny. My husband handed me the phone and was like, hey, hon, I think this person knows you. And so then I took over and I started talking to him, and he said it was fine for me to include him in the video. I just thought that would be a lighthearted little break in between all of this. But yeah, that was pretty funny. He's actually my preacher's grandson. So yeah. And we both were laughing about it. But then he had went to my channel later on, my YouTube channel, and I had actually referenced that I was going to do the video, that I was going to be posting this video in the comments of some of my other videos. I had, stated I had been working on this project. So I referred him over to my channel and told him go check me out and look in the comments, and he'll see that it had been planned. So yeah. Okay. And then there was this guy. The previous message, I told him I was 15, and he says, okay. And then I asked how old he is, and then this one I screenshotted, and it's, it gets so much worse how he starts asking me all of these questions. And let's see, parents are out for the week. Okay, and then we start talking about drinks. Keep in mind, I told him I was 15. And then he starts talking about, coming over and everything else. And then I ask, if you want to stay the night. Again, told him I was 15, and he's offering me drinks and wanting to stay the night and everything. And then he's asking if I drink beer or smoke. This guy creeped me out because I had told him I was 15, and he's offering me drinks and things. So I'm really hoping that, if this scenario was real, he would not have tried to roofie the person. However, that does come to mind because it's just really creepy. You have a 15-year-old who you're offering drinks and all kind of other stuff to. It's really weird. And, he's saying, that he might stay the night. It's just cringy. All of it. Well, this whole video is cringy, but this especially, very cringy. That was actually all the ones that I screenshotted and edited. Again, even just all of that editing and making sure I cropped them and making sure I didn't include their names or anything was a lot of work to do. Took a lot of hours. So yeah, that's the only ones I'm including in this video. However, if this video gets a lot of attention and raises a lot of awareness, and depending on your comments, I may post additional content with those cringy comments, with the really, really disturbing ones. If I see, if you guys say that it's going to make a difference, or that it could possibly help someone, or if you guys really want to see them, if I'm getting a lot of comments about it, then I will. But I personally, they're really, really cringy. Like, it was a lot. It was actually probably the majority of the comments. Once they found out that I was 15, they would immediately start being really, really nasty. And some of these, and it's not just 40-year-old men that were doing that. No, it was like 26-year-olds, 24-year-olds. A lot of these, I would say about maybe 70% of the people that I talked to on here were college students at USM, which is scary. It's really, really terrifying that there are these guys out here that some of us are probably friends with. Some of us are probably friends with these people, and you would never guess that they would agree to going out with a 15-year-old. But they do. It really astonished me how many people, like when I tell you there were hundreds of people, yes, there were hundreds of people that I talked to. It's insane. Like, literally, I can't even imagine. And that's why part of me really wants to catch some of these people, because it's insane that these are people that we might know, that we probably do know. That's not okay, that there are this many people, that only like 5 people out of the hundreds that I talked to are passing. And then out of those hundreds that I've talked to, and the ones that have failed, their comments are so explicit, I can't even post them for traumatic reasons. And I don't want to, upset too many people here, as far as if you've had a traumatic past. I'm trying to be very mindful of that, because a lot of this is very triggering. Like, it goes in, when I say graphic detail, it's insane. And really, something needs to be done about this, but I'm not sure the right way to go about it. Again, if you would comment on this video and maybe give some suggestions about how I should go about that, and maybe partnering with the local police department or what have you. But I think definitely Chris Hansen needs to come visit this area, because it is insane how many people seemed to target the profile. Like, I know at least some of these hundreds of people were reading the description, and if not, let's give them all the benefit of the doubt. You know, they would message me and ask how old I was, or either I'd tell them, and then they would get really explicit. Like, that's beyond benefit of the doubt at that point. Like, no, you're guilty, so you can't really claim that you didn't know. It's insane. It's literally insane. Something really needs to be done about this. And if you guys know any of these people, all I gotta say is watch out who you're friends with. Watch out who you associate yourself with. And we can never really know who we're friends with. Just, try to ask yourself and at least gauge the people around you and make sure that you're hanging around good people. Because if I was friends, or if I knew any of these people that did this, that would just make me even more sick. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. Like I said, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this, what I should do going forward. If you want those other pictures posted, just let me know. And you guys stay safe. I hope this encourages parents of minors to check your teenager's phone. Check their phone. Because if you think my kid won't do this or whatever, I can guarantee you, especially TikTok. I can't stand TikTok, but that's just me. I know, there's a lot of people encouraging kids to do dumb things. And I would hate to find your kid on a missing poster one day just because you didn't check what was going on their phone. There's a app called Family Link that you can install on your kid's phone. It's free to use. You do it through the Google Play Store and install it and have it set up where you can look at your kid's screen. You can look at, manage all your kid's apps, everything. And that they have to get approval before they can download an app from you. So there are things like that and resources that you can research and look into and decide what's best. But please monitor, at least check your kid's phone every once in a while, and realize that kids are sneaky and they find ways to do stuff. But the least you can do as a parent, at least, is try to make sure that you are monitoring their apps and their usage and their cell phone usage. Just try to do that, because this is definitely a reality. And with so much stuff coming to light about sex trafficking, it would just be horrifying. I know if I had a kid and something happened to them, God forbid. But just definitely, again, make sure you're checking their phones. Make sure if you're an adult and you have Tinder, because realize there's a lot of these men are still out there on Tinder. Realize who you're going on a date with. Get to know them first, or at least tell people where you're going, what you'll be doing, exactly what time you'll get back, and keep contact with people. I want everyone to be safe, because unfortunately, for sex trafficking, they don't just target adults, they target children, they target everyone. So make sure that even if you're an adult, if you're a kid, whatever, you aren't talking to anybody online and meeting up with them without first telling somebody that you're going to. That'll do it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a safe night.